What's good? It's your boy Trouble T Roy with Hit Don't Get Hit Boxing Talk. Back with another one. And it goes. It's a pretty big week for boxing. Got a few good fights coming up, but the one I want to focus on right now is for Thursday night this week. We have Shakur Stevenson versus Edwin de Los Santos at lightweight. For the WBC lightweight championship, which Devin Haney recently was stripped of, if I'm correct. So that's what we got going on. That's probably the biggest fight. That's the fight I'm gonna be looking to watch this week. It's on Thursday night, so that's even better because I should be available to watch that for sure before I go to work. Yeah, man. Right now, I mean, as far as breakdown for the fight, my own little breakdown, I have Shakur Stevenson winning. I see that Los Santos is he's a pretty aggressive fighter, come forward fighter when he wants to be. Pretty good fighter in the pocket and at mid-range from what it looks like. Good power. Actually, really good power as far as I've seen. Yeah, good fighter. Very composed. Good, pretty decent IQ in the ring. Yeah, I think he might be one of Shakur Stevenson's tougher fights, which I thought Oscar Valdez would actually be his toughest fight when it came about, and Stevenson made that fight look mighty easily. easy, whatever. So it's kind of hard to tell with boxing. It's kind of one of those things where you could assume this fighter's going to be a great problem to another fighter, and sometimes it's the exact opposite. We've seen that a few times this year already, like with Crawford, Spence, a new wave Fulton, Canelo, Charlo, which I don't know, everybody was 50-50 with that one. I thought that would be a lot closer of a fight, even though I had Charlo losing to Canelo, but that's another story. I think I already talked about that. But I mean, and on. That's just the way boxing is. Two men get in the ring. Once that bell rings, you don't know what's really going to happen. You know, even if we had Fury and Ngannou, and look how that fight turned out. That's boxing for you. You never know. So, which makes this fight a very good fight because, like I said, it looks like to me Edwin de Los Santos. Seems like he's going to be a good match for Stevenson. I think this could be the fight that I believe. As far as Stevenson winning, I believe that as long as he keeps, controlling distance, which he's very good at. I mean, he has probably one of the best defenses in the game, in my opinion. So I don't think there's much that I've seen De Los Santos do that I think is going to change much when it comes to Stevenson and his defense. But I can see De Los Santos possibly slipping and catching Stevenson at a point or two if Stevenson decides to get too comfortable, which he never really does. So that will be interesting because I've noticed De Los Santos is pretty good about picking his shots. He doesn't overthrow to compensate for missing a lot of shots. He doesn't overthrow. He picks his shot pretty well, and he is, like I said, he is a pretty good counterpuncher. But I don't think he's seen a fighter with the style and the type of defense as Stevenson possesses, which I don't think most fighters have seen Stevenson's type of style in boxing in the lightweight division or featherweight or super featherweight, all the divisions Stevenson has fought in. So that's why I do have Stevenson winning. And honestly, I don't think we've seen the best of Stevenson, in my opinion. I know a lot of people also would agree with this as well, that we've seen Stevenson, me personally, I feel like I've seen Stevenson do what he needs to do to get the opponent out of here, not necessarily more than what he can do. I think he is definitely capable of more. You know, I believe that. You know, a lot of people think that Stevenson is boring. A lot of people think that he has no power and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, I'm a fan of boxing, and knockouts aren't the only reason I watch boxing. I mean, yes, everybody loves a great knockout, but I do love seeing technicians in the ring as well, because he's not boring. He's not like some of these other fighters, we could say like Laura or Rigondeaux, who have actually proven to be boring fighters. Or even if you want to see boring, sit back and watch Fury versus Klitschko. You want to get some good sleep. That's a fight to watch. You know what I'm saying? So it's the difference between really being a boring fighter because you're too defensive to the point where you're basically not fighting. You're just, dancing around the ring. And then there's just a defensive fighter who is just so good defensively, and that the opponent just doesn't have anything that he can land, but yet he keeps getting landed on. It's a difference. People think that because a fighter isn't getting knockouts that they're boring, and that's just bullshit. So I'm like, you're not really a boxing fan like that if you really believe that stuff like that. It's a difference. There is a huge difference. Some people just don't know boxing or just don't like boxing, and that's fine. Go watch another sport then, But yeah, man. So that's my thoughts with the Stevenson Los Santos fight. I feel like I'm saying his name wrong. De Los Santos, yeah. So yeah, and I got Stevenson winning. For sure, unanimous decision. I believe that he might have the power and the ability to stop De Los Santos, especially with the backstory that they're building up for this fight too. It seems like a lot of talking back and forth going on, a lot of trolling and different things to make the fight that much better. And this fight is for a title, a WBC lightweight championship title, a vacated belt. So, which should make it even bigger. It is an even bigger fight, and could possibly make it an even better fight just off of that, because they're fighting for something, not just not just for a win on their record. So, who knows? That might bring the hunger out of both of them even more. So, I mean, that's possible. We'll see what happens with that. So yeah, that's how I feel about that fight. One thing that I'm starting to see that's pretty annoying, and it's starting to become more and more of a thing when it comes to boxing, are the complaints or the shit talking. I mean, we know that boxing more and more every day, it's always been a thing of numbers. And what I'm starting to see is that it's like this popularity thing when it comes to boxing is really taking over boxing. It's like people aren't showing up and showing out for boxing anymore. They're showing out for popularity. Who's popular? How many pay-per-views are these boxers selling? How many stadiums or arenas are these guys filling out? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's kind of garbage at this point. It's kind of becoming a cliche and some ordinary ass shit, because it's like, not every fighter is meant to be a superstar. I mean, really, in America, we have one real superstar. I mean, you could say, and that's Canelo. You could say Tank. Yeah, Tank does, some good numbers as far as American boxing goes. He does probably second best in America, but that doesn't say nothing when it comes to somebody like Canelo. Tank's numbers and Canelo's numbers are extremely different. I don't know why people act like Tank is so much bigger, as big as or bigger than Canelo, when it's clearly not that. It's like you want to play the numbers game, but then when it comes to the real numbers, you don't want to play the numbers game. People be lying about Tank's numbers just to try to match them up with Canelo's, but it's like, okay, he's not Canelo, never will he be Canelo. At this rate anyways, especially if you ain't fighting nobody that nobody wants to see. But regardless of that, the numbers game is really what I feel like is starting to kill boxing more and more, because if we go by Tank standards, Tank is not that much far behind a lot of these other guys. I mean, and the guys who's talking a lot of shit are guys who follow other guys who ain't doing numbers either. Like, you know, I seen Devin Haney, I guess he's talking shit about Shakur, talking about he ain't doing big numbers. Talking about Shakur ain't doing big numbers, but Devin ain't doing big numbers like that. I've been to 2 of his fights, and the first fight wasn't that big of a fight to where they filled in the arena that I was at. And the second fight, which was probably his biggest fight against Lomachenko, yeah, it looked like he pretty much filled up that arena, but it was like, okay, that was against Lomachenko, another name that people actually, you know, still fuck with. So it ain't like you did it on your own. You needed another name, just like Tank doing the numbers he did with Ryan Garcia was against another name. Never was you going to reach 1 million pay-per-views without another big name, which was Ryan Garcia. Tank ain't never done close to 1 million without another name. So it's like, come on. But at the end of the day, these numbers don't matter to me because I'm a fan of boxing. You know, when I'm at home, if I see there's boxing on, even if I don't know who it is fighting, I'll probably just tune in just because it's boxing. It might be some shit, probably a fight going on around the corner from where I am. But if it's on TV and I can tune in, I'll probably watch it just because I'm a fan of boxing. I'm not a fan of popular boxers. I'm a fan of boxing. But these guys are trying to diss and troll and talk shit about Shakur Stevenson because his fight is on the Thursday, and because, I don't know, I guess the tickets aren't selling like that, and people say, oh yeah, ain't nobody gonna watch this and blah blah. It's like, just say you don't like Shakur Stevenson or you ain't into boxing, because if you're a real boxing fan, it don't matter how many people showing up to watch him. It don't matter how many people is viewing it on TV. Are you gonna watch the fight? Yes or no? That's all that should matter. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't watching the fight, then why you worry about anybody else watching it? That's the problem. All these people we talk about pay-per-views and shit. Oh, this dude ain't selling no pay-per-views, but you be streaming pay-per-views for free. The main ones that be talking about numbers about when it comes to pay-per-view and, you know, selling out arenas and all that stuff are the same people who don't buy no pay-per-views and don't be at fights. So it's like, it's just funny how that works. It's always the people that when it's time for them to go ahead and show up and show out, they ain't never there, but they always got something to say about how these fighters are doing without them. It's like, man, shut the fuck up. Nobody want to hear that shit. You literally have no room to be talking about shit. You know, just say you don't like Shakur Stevenson, or just say you don't like Devin Haney, just say you don't like Spence, or you don't like Crawford, all that shit, because the numbers argument just gets older and older every day. Even sometimes I catch myself in them, and sometimes I only do it just to make a point, but some of these dudes just do it just because they think it sound good, but literally ain't buying no fights or ain't being at no fights. They just want to get on the internet and argue, and then don't even have like the facts to back up what the fuck they be saying. So it's like, come on, man. I'm just happy to see once again Shakur Stevenson fighting again. And it's a fight. It's a fight for a championship. It's a fight that should build up Shakur Stevenson even more. If anything, if you so mad about the fact that Shakur Stevenson or any other fighter that you want to complain about ain't selling or ain't got views, if you're so mad about it, why don't you make a difference and start helping support and promote the fighter rather than talking shit about what they ain't doing? How about you help them get there? How about you say, you know what? If we real boxing fans, how about let me go ahead and start, you know, encouraging your friends and family and other boxing fans to buy the shit. Instead of getting online and say, look, ain't nobody watching this. This on a Thursday. Ain't nobody. I can think of, there's plenty of people that can watch the shit on the Thursday. But if you don't like him, that's probably why you're not watching it. You can clearly just say, I don't like Shakur Stevenson, or I don't like this fighter. Instead of doing stupid petty shit. Like, ain't nobody buying shit from you, so why are you worried about it? It sounds like jealousy to me, but you know, all that shit. But anyways, man, that was just a random little side rant for me. But I'm definitely looking forward to this fight this weekend. Like I said, I should be able to watch it. If not, I'll probably still watch it from work, because I ain't really got much to do at work on Thursday, from what I understand. So I normally, even if I'm at work, I still get the fights on my phone through ESPN or DAZN or something, whichever apps that they'll be on. So yeah, man, it's a fight I am looking forward to, as much as I'm looking forward to Devin Haney versus Regis, which I'll probably do a video, my quick breakdown on them and how I feel about that fight, and all the bullshit and backstory behind that when the fight gets closer. So yeah, man, Shakur Stevenson versus Edwin de Los Santos this Thursday on ESPN. I'm gonna do my best to tune in, which means I probably will tune in. 9 times out of 10, I'll be there watching. Y'all see me talking shit on the Twitter and all that good shit. So yeah, man. So anyways, yeah, I'll see y'all there. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and all that good shit. It's your boy, Trouble T. Roy. Don't get hit boxing talk. All right, y'all. Peace.
The guilty bystander proceeds with no guilt. All things forward, the movement got no chill. You dislike, no love lost, no spill. You heard it here from that foolie from Go Ill. Was such a dope sounder to have you on tilt. Backhanded beats for your automobile. Like this, I mean like so. You mean like Black Rob spoke like whoa. Like that, I believe we broke through it. New shit that rewrites hope. 10 times in a row, rewind flow. Landmark ain't simulator, we might flow. 10 times in a row, rewind flow. Johnny Depp